guys, so this has been a highly requested video, so I'm really excited to do it, and I'm just going to get down into it. So this is going to be my winter camping setup for the mountain. I'm not going to go into detail about the mountaineering gear I carry or my layers. Those can be separate videos. I believe a lot of guys that are just out camping that have zero interest in mountaineering or climbing are going to also watch this video, and I want it to work for them too. So if you want to see more detail about my actual layers and my actual mountaineering gear, leave a comment. Let's start with the packs. So I just ordered 2 new Lowe Alpine Manaslu packs. They're going to be what we use to carry our heavy overnight gear. And we don't have them yet, but here's a photo of them and some information about them. What I've been using is the Gregory Baltoro packs, which are super popular and really good packs, especially for backpacking. And I've been using them for mountaineering for a long time. I just wanted something a little bit more mountaineering specific. And as you guys know, if you've been following me, I'm a huge Lowe Alpine fan and Rab Equipment. They've partnered up together. So let's move on to the tent. So I've been using the Rab Latok Mountain 2. Rab has made several tents over the years. The Latok Mountain is one that they currently make. They also make a Latok Mountain 3. This is a bombshell 4-season tent. They use it on K2, they use it on Everest. This tent's designed for the harshest of conditions on the planet. Now, this tent's kind of expensive, and in this video I'm going to show you guys some alternate options. There's a 4-season tent on Amazon. I'm going to leave a link in the description, and the title I'll put right here. The brand is a Hillman, and I've used it a lot actually. What I like about this tent is that it's a double wall tent, and typically I don't like double wall tents. The reason I say that about this tent is it gives you an option to not bring the inside of the tent. And let's say you want to just do something super light and you just need some sort of a layer of protection above you, but you don't need the ground part of the tent. I've used that several times and I've been able to keep my sleeping system really light. So I think I have some footage of that. I'll put some photos in if I do. Also, the Hillman tent is humongous, and there is a weight penalty. I believe it's 7 pounds if you carry everything. But I've had a lot of luck with the Hillman tent over the years, and for a budget option, it's wonderful. Now let's talk about sleeping pads and what I use. So I've used several over the years. So right now I use the Thermarest xtherm 4th season sleeping pad, and it's wonderful. It's extremely comfortable, but it comes with a high price. So I think the R value on that sleeping pad is a little bit better than the Klymit, but the Klymit is a wonderful budget option. So this is the insulated static V light. So this sleeping pad weighs 19.6 ounces and it has an R value of 4.4. I've used this way below zero and I haven't had any issues. It's less comfortable than the Thermarest, but it's also a lot cheaper. You can easily find these for 70 bucks. You can also find them on eBay refurbished for 40. So a lot of my buddies buy the refurbished ones and haven't had any problems. What I will say is, as far as reliability goes, the Thermarest I've never had a problem with. I have had issues with these. I've got one on the floor right here that I need to patch. And I've already patched it before. So it's just, they're less durable. They are an ultralight 4-season pad. So for the price, I think they're great. This one I've had for years. Now Klymit released an even warmer sleeping pad recently. I saw it on their website. I think it has like an R value of 6. I really want to get that sleeping pad. It is heavy, but you know, in terms of Denali and Rainier certain times of the year, even in the Cascades and the Olympics certain times of the year in the winter, you're going to want a warm sleeping bag like that. So I might grab one of those. If you're interested in a review, leave a comment. I'd love to check it out. So let's talk about sleeping bags for a minute. Now this is like a interesting topic to me. I love sleeping bags, and lately I've been using the Rab Mythic 360. That's a killer sleeping bag. It's extremely light, and the weight will be on the screen, and it's rated for 18 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, sleeping bag temperature ratings are tough because they don't really mean that. So this is rated at 18 degrees And if it's 18 degrees outside, you're probably going to survive in this bag. You're not going to be comfortable. You usually have to add about 20 degrees to whatever the bag's rated for to get its comfort rating, okay? So realistically, that bag is closer to a 30 to 40 degree bag, right? Now, I've used that bag in 0 degree temps and below 0 degree temps and been entirely happy, and that's because of the gear that you're wearing. So you've got to take that into equation too. I usually carry, in those temperatures, a 6,000 meter jacket or potentially a 6,000 meter jacket and a lighter down jacket, heavy base layer, heavy pants, down pants potentially, down booties. So where realistically, if you have 2 people in a 4-season tent, you'd survive without a bag at all because of all the retained heat. So you're able to get away with carrying a very light bag that way. It's right around a pound or so. I also have the Rab Mythic 600, and that is a Rab 0 degree bag. I think it's technically rated for like 2 degrees or something like that, but it's a 0 bag, right? So that's super light as well for what it offers. It's extremely warm. It's a very comfortable bag. That's more of typical sleeping bag technology, where the Rab Mythic Ultra is pretty high tech. So what I will say, if you're looking for a 0 and you need a budget bag, the hiking bike, which I did a review a while back, the hiking bike 0 really can't be beat for the price, and it definitely can't be beat for its warmth. It is a true 0. I don't think 0 degree bags are created equal. I bought the 0 hiking bike when they first started getting kind of well known, and I don't know if they over-engineered it back then just to make a name for themselves or what, but you can't get cold in that bag unless you're talking minus 20 degrees outside, as long as you've got adequate gear. So usually I'll bring a spare change of socks. That way you're not trying to sleep in sweaty socks. That's the worst thing you can do for your body. If you crawl in your sleeping bag with wet socks, you're going to freeze all night. So you definitely need to not be crawling in your sleeping bag with sweaty clothes on. You're either going to bring a change, or don't go to bed until you dry out. If you can move around the campsite and dry yourself out and then go to bed, you'll be fine. If you're covered in sweat and you crawl into that sleeping bag, you're going to be freezing. Until you dry, you will be cold. The other problem is now your sleeping bag will be wet as well, and that's not good. So I do carry down pants. Rab makes a down pant that I really like, but I actually don't own that. It's one of the only things they make that I don't have. So I use the Nature Hike pants. These pants are extremely cheap. They are produced out of country, so they take a while to get to you. But they're a full zip down pant with crampon patches, and these things are bomber pants. I would not hesitate to take these to Alaska. I think they're just as good as any other down pant on the market. These guys really did a wonderful job with this pant. I have the Aegis or Aegis, whatever, Aegis Max down booties. I don't know if you guys remember, Aegis Max kind of came onto the radar a few years ago when the ultralight scene was big. They made an ultralight down sleeping bag, and they also made an ultralight down quilt. And I grabbed one, and it was wonderful. So when I saw that brand name for these down booties, I snagged them, and I wish I didn't. So these ones don't have, they're super light. They do the trick if you're not going to move while you're sleeping, so they're fine. The problem is they don't have a drawstring at the top, and so when I wake up, these are never on my feet anymore because I move around when I'm sleeping in a tent. So the same company that makes the Nature Hike down pants also makes down booties, so I'm going to order one of those. They have the drawstring at the top, and they just look better and warmer. Rab also makes them, as well as a ton of other companies, so if you want to use them, you're more than welcome to. Obviously, they'll be great as well. So my stove that I use is the MSR Reactor. That's my primary stove. I don't go anywhere without that stove. That thing is a bomber stove, especially at high elevation or in high winds. I've got the larger pot on it because usually I'm with a pretty big party and we're boiling lots of water. We make a lot of tea at camp, and so it's a wonderful stove for that. Heats up extremely quick. It's one of the fastest stoves I've ever used for boiling water, and it's extremely reliable. So I definitely recommend that Reactor stove. It is on the expensive side, and you can definitely get away with a jet boil. It's not as windproof. If a jet boil is a little bit costly too. I've got a budget stove. This is the brand Z and Lee. Now this stove, I bought it off the Amazon. It was like 40 bucks, and this is 100% a jet boil copy through and through. And I used it for a long time. It's a wonderful backpacking stove. You could use it mountaineering. I've used it mountaineering. It doesn't boil nearly as fast as the Reactor does, and it's definitely not as windproof. So you might have to build some wind protection if you want to use this stove in high wind. It works really good, and it's only 40 bucks. And the other nice thing is you can cook on this, and that's what I use it for. Because sometimes I don't ever bring the pot anymore, but I do often bring the stove because you can put a pan on top of it and actually cook. So we almost always bring both stoves. We bring the Reactor with the pot and then that Z and Lee stove, and the Z and Lee stoves never let us down. So I'm sure you guys clicked on this video just to hear about the giveaway, so let me talk about that. Okay, so if you saw my Instagram posts or you watched my last video about the giveaway we're doing, we are doing a big giveaway, and it's just a thank you to the channel growth. I've noticed that there are a lot of people subscribing now. That's awesome. I really want to grow the channel, and I really appreciate it. If you don't win the giveaway, don't just unsubscribe. I really want to do another giveaway soon, and I kind of have an idea of what it's going to look like. I'm trying to work with some companies now, and I might be getting some new gear. So instead of selling my old gear, I'd rather just give it to people who need it. And that's why I'm doing this giveaway. I don't need this stuff. I don't use it. And I'm sure that you guys could get some good use out of it, and this is really good gear. So the one of the best things that we're giving away here is the Denali, the Gregory Denali pack, and that's a bomber pack. I really wanted it to work for me, and I got it at a discount from Gregory, and so I can't return it, but I ordered one size too big. The hip belt is not. I didn't want to interchange it with a Baltoro hip belt. I didn't think it'd be rated to carry as much, and I've got the Lowe Alpine pack coming anyways. So this pack's rated to carry like 100 pounds. You could do Denali in this pack. You could do any kind of expedition in this pack. It's a wonderful pack, and I've only used it once, and so I've got a 31-inch waist or so, and I would say it's better for somebody with like a 34-inch waist to like 38-inch waist. So they're like 400 bucks or close to it, so that's awesome. There's also a Granite Gear pack we're giving away here. It's like an ultralight backpacking pack. My girlfriend used it a lot. She really liked it. It's got a little bit more use than the Denali, but it's a great pack as well. We're giving away some REI gloves that almost have zero use on them. They're just an extra glove, and we don't use them. First Ascent hard shell. This is actually a pretty nice hard shell. I think it's a 3-layer hard shell if I remember correctly. You're not going to get rain through it. It's super windproof. Really nice hard shell. It's just, again, I don't even know if we've ever used it, but hopefully someone's going to get some use out of it. So the Rab Spark waterproof, that one's also going. That's probably one of the least waterproof jackets you'll ever use. It's because it's got Pertex Shield, and I'm not a huge fan of Pertex Shield. I like the other Pertex variants because they don't claim to be waterproof, and they're very close to waterproof. Like Rab uses Pertex Quantum, I believe it is, on a lot of their downs and soft shells and stuff, and I really like that material. The Pertex Shield, I don't really agree with. OR uses it too. Like the OR Helium, that's got Pertex Shield, and you wet those things out if you're in any kind of a storm. So these jackets are good to throw in your pack on days that you don't think it's going to rain, or maybe it's just going to be windy and you need a wind layer. It definitely is an additional layer, so don't take this thing out into a blizzard. You won't stay dry. It is a cool green though. So I won't talk much. There's an REI base layer thrown in. So there's a Byke fleece. Now, Byke is a local company to me, really great company. I just don't use the brand. And I've got a lot of fleeces from Rab that I like, and those are the ones I use. But this is a great fleece. I think I wore it one time on a volcano. It's basically brand new, super light, really comfortable, really good look, super functional. Oh yeah, so these Lowe boots, right? So these were worn one time. And yeah, they were not the right size for my girlfriend. Yeah, wrong size. She ended up going to a Scarpa. They worked better for her. But, you know, somebody that's a Lowe foot, well, those will work perfect for you. So, I think they're a size 10, but I'll put it up on the screen here. Black Diamond Ice Axe. Just a typical, you know, Black Diamond. These things, they're cheap, but they've been to the summit of Everest, and it's just a typical lightweight ice axe. So some Train Go ice crampons. Now these are pretty solid crampons. People use them for dry tooling or for ice climbing. You could walk on a glacier in them too. It's not their specified reason, but you could use them for that. But we're also including the camp strap-on crampons. I don't know if you got mountaineering boots or not. So you can throw these crampons on pretty much anything. Yeah, you can throw these on any boot. People strap them to their hiking boots. I'm not a fan of that, just because the hiking boot has so much flex. The back of the hiking boot can slide out of the crampon. I see it all the time. Throwing in a helmet. You need a helmet. And the Arc'teryx Tenkile. So that's just like a lightweight soft shell. I really enjoyed it. I wore that on Rainier a few times. It's been worn a little bit, but it's got years and years left in it, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. So to enter this giveaway, you have to be subscribed. You have to have your subscriptions public so that I can actually see that you're subscribed. And you can send an email to the email in the description with your name. And I'll be picking a winner on the video. You'll see if you win or not. I'll be sending you an email to get your shipping address. So guys, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all my subscribers. Thank you for helping me build the channel. Make sure you enter in to win the giveaway. Again, if you guys don't win, don't just unsubscribe. I want to do a future giveaway, like I said. Yeah, if you guys have any interest in seeing a video about the layers I use, leave a comment. I'd love to do that video. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your continued support. Be safe in the mountains.